Welcome to Stock and Options Trading Unlocked.
If you want to learn how to make 6 or 7 figures a year trading 2 hours a day, this is the show for you.
We are here to talk about everything trading, weekly news, tips, and special guests to get you motivated and profitable.
Don't forget, everything you hear is opinion only and not to be considered financial advice.
Here are your hosts, Atul Patel and David Picard.
Here. Hey everyone. Seems to be a weird issue with um, our broadcast capturing the video. So I'm like kind of working through that. So just bear with us. But in the meantime, I'd love to see your comments in the YouTube chat window.
What charts you looking for us to review? Let us know, and we'll start getting them as soon as we have this fixed.
Go here. Oh, that's not. That is so strange. It's not letting me resize it. I know what it is. There we go. Should be okay now.
Got it?
I think people were getting a little, or possibly a little bit of a preview of the new app we're building, because I was sharing screen from our conversation earlier, and so but I think they only saw like 10 pixel width. It was like a weird thing, but anyways, let's make it so that everybody can see us, so we can like there we go. Let's see. There we go. Hey, we're
Live.
Live, and you can see us. It's so much better. And I'm in my little going to an art gallery attire, whatever nonsense. But I'm in black tonight. I usually like to be in color, but
Casual for drinks.
But doing that today. What an incredible day today. I mean, the whole week. I mean, this last week's been crazy, incredible. We were talking just like the number of, I don't think I've ever remember how many times I've, like in 1 week, where I got so many 10x risk reward trades. Like, some were 10, 20, 40, like ridiculousness.
All over the place right now.
And I haven't even been sharing it like on Twitter. If you see me being quiet, because I'm just like, I'm exhausted. Like, I mean, it's not how to do anything, but it's just emotionally exhausting.
It is, because it takes time to put all the stuff together. I know how it is.
And
I'm backed up on my trade reviews as well for putting them out there. I like to share what I'm thinking and when.
But it's been pretty cool. It's been really, really cool. We'll go over SPY today, but you mean this morning's pre-market prep was like crazy spot on.
Stellar. And I think before we get into that,
Yeah.
I do want to just recap by, if you've been following us for a long time, you've heard us mention this multiple times. Don't feel FOMO, don't chase. Guys, these opportunities are just, they've been coming, and we're foreseeing them continuing to come. I mean, we've talked about this. Volatility hasn't even hit this market, right? the range is going to be here. The opportunities are going to be here. Um, and I think we were just mentioning a few weeks ago that, there are these lights out trades 5 to 20 times, whether it be a quarter, every 6 months, whatever it may be. So just, don't, I don't want anyone to get FOMO based on these conversations at the same time.
Guys, these are planned. Okay, we're not going. A lot of the trades we take, we're not just, oh, suddenly it's moving, let me go chase after it. No, 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 no. We are anticipating that the market or the stock is going to behave a certain way, and then we're able to identify great risk reward opportunities to get in, and then get that. And that's why we get these crazy things. I don't want to compare, but folks are like saying, hey, we made 30%. Hey, we made 20%. We made 70% on these trades. That's great, and it works for them. My risk reward tolerance is very different. And so that's what I kind of focus on. And because I want at least 3x reward to my risk. And typically that means I'm getting a minimum of a 90%, 90 to 150, maybe 200% gain, 500% gain on the face value of a contract. And those are the kind of trades I'm comfortable taking if I'm going to put my money at risk. And that's just, it is what it is, right? And then all my losses, every single loss I take is generally not because of a planned trade going wrong. It's because of FOMO, or not even, I don't want to say FOMO, it's boredom and trading not where the best risk reward is. It's just like, oh, I can snake some money out of this. I can snake a little bit out. I can go do this. I can go do that. Oh, I can take a quick little scalp. Man, when you're wrong and you got size for that little scalp to be worth it, I'll do that one more time, right? That's what happens. You get slapped, and your accounts get wrecked and destroyed, and then you're emotionally wrecked, and then you got to do all this other crap to bring your trading accounts back, and it just puts you down a crazy road, a horrible road. And
actually evaluating drawdowns, right? Yeah. I mean, if you've never done it before, you need to understand that to be able to really have good risk management. That's actually, that's maybe something we should talk about in one of the next few weeks episodes. Managing drawdowns and what it does to your account, and look at to show it really out to people. Hey, what does a 3% drawdown do to your account? Right? How do you recover from it? What about a 10%?
What about a 50%? Okay. Yeah.
What about 90? Yeah. You know what I mean? You wreck yourself. I mean, you need to, I don't remember the number off the top of my head. It might be 900% something, right? To get back to it. So,
yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, we're in an environment where that can happen, but it's nasty, right? And unnecessary. Unnecessary to put yourself into that situation. And I did it myself the other day, right? And because I started a new baby account, and I doubled it. I essentially doubled it in a couple days. And then in the afternoon, I'm just like, oh, I just want to snake another $500. I wasn't happy with the gains. I knocked it down 80%, gone. Because I mean, it's because one, the sizing, when you get into the psychology part, and then as you're doing afternoon trades, and then you got theta trades, I basically stopped playing by the rules that make me money. I started playing by the rules that are crazy, because there's no rules. It was just basically not following process, not doing this, and the result, comes back to that. But go ahead.
You weren't over allocated on that trade, were you?
I was absolutely. What are you talking about? It was there were
100% of my account.
Not 100%, but you do you do 30% because the contract prices are expensive. Sure. Those things get whacked, and then you're like, okay, let me try one more time, and then suddenly you went from doing a 20% allocation to now you're doing an 80% allocation because the accounts dropped, right? You're just doing dumb crap, right? And you get caught up in it. It's just like, and that's where my weakness personally is after 11 a.m. Yeah. Those trades after 11 a.m. I mean, I'll sometimes nail some amazing trades out of it, but the thing is, how I feel like that's really just kind of like the casino, right? Every time you go to the machine or the tables, and they're giving you
Yep.
those winnings to make sure you come back to the table. But compared to our morning trades, and you just wait for the particular levels for those entries, those have probably I would say a 70-90% win rate, something ridiculous.
It and I kind of go through that challenge myself actually almost every month because my system, like the way I like to do it, I kind of draw my account down to
Yeah,
usually about 10K, could be 20, somewhere in that range, maybe 30. I try not to leave more in it, just depends how the month was. Um, and then I go from there and try to do it all over. So I always have to go from when I'm taking that drawdown to reallocate and really sit myself down and go, hey, you're not trading 67, whatever it was, right? Whoa, you can't do that sizing, or even look at the same contracts.
yeah,
The end of the month, sometimes I'm looking at next week SPX contracts, and it's like, yeah, no, you don't. That's not okay.
yeah.
You got to be careful
You
because
know,
you know how
it's
those move.
so important to follow your rules around every little aspect, right? We keep
Absolutely.
talking about this as a business, right? When you leave the business or you start doing debaucherous things with your business, you have debaucherous results.
Absolutely.
And it was it was frustrating to me, right? Especially because like all this other stuff was like going thing, and then it's like you have your big account and you have your baby accounts, but why is it that what you do in your baby account you start being an idiot, right? It's like it's dumb. And
It happens to everyone.
yeah,
You
and
just got
yeah,
to
it's
figure it out.
because I was frustrated because like some of these trades I was like, man, I should have 10x this today, right? And you start like that's really what you start feeling, and yeah, I mean, literally, guys, we've had the opportunities that you could have taken 2K and turned it into 20 to 40K in the last week.
Oh yeah.
So I reset my account, and I think I mean, I think I grew 25% today, which is perfect, right? In that baby account, um, and you're just doing this, and you're just like, okay,
It's got to rinse repeat.
and try
That's
not
it.
to overtrade it, and that's the thing, right? If you can compound that, and then one of my friends where you're kind of doing this challenge together about turning 3K. Can we, who can turn 3K into 300K first? It's not about if, it's about who's going to be there
When?
first, right? Like that's what's so beautiful about this is like, okay, let's see who can do it first. It's not that we're not going to be able to do it, which I think is where a lot of people first challenge. But when you start recognizing the process and the setups, and you can follow the rules and stick to your rules, there's no reason one cannot do that. And with the volatility we have in this market right now,
Not
I
too
think
much.
we might, as long as we don't do anything dumb, I think we could get there within 60 to 90 days.
Beautiful. I'm enjoying your challenge.
I hope you do. I hope you do. So yeah, it's kind of fun. We're gonna try to do a little bit of a shorter session today. Try to be done by 6:30. Sorry, I'm rambling, but Dave, what's your thoughts on the market?
You you know my thoughts, man. It's a wild ride right now. I think every day you got to check your bias at the door, right? This is back to what I was saying before. We're in bear market mode, so bear market rallies. Especially with the low volume we're having, guys, whip you in every direction. Doesn't matter. You can get squeezed both ways. So I try to check that every day because I love to be a bear. But when I have to tell myself check that because if I feel a need to be bearish, like going into a long weekend, right? Hey, where's the spot to go short though?
Yeah,
Right? That's what I have to keep telling myself. Um, and then there are days where it seems like the market's coming in and it's ate its veggies and it's, ready to pop by it up and go. So you gotta just not fight the trend. So I'm really day by day and I'm pretty
yeah,
much, me strictly cash, except for I'm still holding some of my swing position from basically 4:30.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, makes sense.
if I've been rolling it. So, I've been just rolling it out, getting more time and just taking profits along the way. But other than that, honestly, cash, all cash, baby. That's how I roll. Yeah. What about yourself?
Mostly cash. I mean, there was some swings from long from off the 390 yesterday because of the reclaim, right? Like I was super bearish. Like I was thinking 390 breaks, it's time for 380 and less. Like we're doing it. But guess what? We broke 390. We came right back over it.
Reclaim.
And it's one of my most favorite trade setups because when everyone's so bearish, right, and then you have a level supported and reclaimed, then that's where I was looking for yesterday. I was looking for that 392 to turn into support. And then at that point, I was like, look, all these shorts are wrecked. They're about to, no, let me phrase that. They're not wrecked yet. They're about to get wrecked. And that's what we got. We got a big squeeze into the end of the day yesterday.
We're sitting there like this.
and it was a beautiful setup, right? And then the target today, right? Same thing this morning. Okay, hey, we gapped it. We closed it, what, 397, I think, yesterday, 398. And my goal for this leg has been 400 to 402, 401 maybe. And then if that can clear, then we should get a rip squeeze into 406, 410. And it took me a minute to come to realize this. Like actually, I think probably yesterday to yesterday afternoon, I was kind of like, what the hell is going on with the market? Like, why did it hold 390? Right? Like, what is going on? And so I had to kind of go through and I kind of was checking. I'm like, I think what's going on is they're betting that the CPI numbers are going to show a big decrease, right? Because last time was 0, and look how much we rallied. We came down to the 390 major support. Next week, the CPI numbers are going to come out. They're betting that the CPI numbers, and it does make sense because oil prices are down and everything. CPI numbers could be. They're betting that it's going to be lower. And essentially that if it is lower, the inflation is under control. Fed might not need to be aggressive on their rate hikes. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we actually do a big rip. Okay. I think that's what the bet that's going on right now. And so the time to get in was around that 390, 392. But I'm essentially out now. Like I'm done because we got to 400, 401. I think we're gonna gap up. We might. I don't know if we're gonna gap up. Maybe another week open red to green and we push. It seems to me like we're setting up for good CPI numbers, and then I'm kind of hoping that does happen because I do think we could end up squeezing pretty hard. But I think the Fed is gonna go. I don't care. We're still raising rates. Actually, something else is gonna show up that doesn't look good, and there maybe. If they really, really want to squash any of this bullish behavior, I think they're going to need to do a surprise rate hike where it's a little more than people are expecting. Like if everyone's expecting 50, they do 75. Or if it's 75, they do $1, not $1, 1 point.
Yeah.
To shift the thinking.
So I think what Europe just do, they just did 75 basis points, right?
Yeah, they're raising.
Yeah, so they just did. I believe it was 75. I'd have to check. So, I would assume that opens the door for Powell to easily do that. Follow suit, right?
Yeah, so we'll see what they end up saying, right, or doing. I don't know, but that's where I kind of feel like things are getting positioned. Part of this rally is a good portion of it, I believe, is it's a short squeeze. If you think yesterday, day before, how many people were like super bearish, loading up the boat?
And we've had it a few times, and we've even had movement. One of the interesting things, and I think I mentioned this maybe on Voice in the Room the other day. We're having some of these down moves, but vols aren't kicking in, and we're not getting buying volatility.
Yeah,
we're not getting hedging appropriate. And it's kind of once it happens, it's going to fall. You know what I mean? In the way you describe it is when people start to actually buy VIX and buy vols, right? There's someone selling it to them, and that market maker that's selling it to them, how do they hedge themselves against the VIX ripping? They short ES futures, right? You got to do it somehow, right? Offset the delta. So, that's one, and that will basically create a spiral. So we haven't seen it though. We need,
Yeah, no, I mean
it
they
to really
hedged.
red.
What I saw apparently is there's a ton of money of put buying that happened as a hedge against if the market dropped. But it looks like that was insurance. Um, so it's kind of interesting. It'll be interesting where things go from here. But in the meantime, loving the volatility, loving the range. Let's keep it going. Let's look at some
The
charts
daily
real quick,
range, up and down. It's beautiful.
and then we'll go from there. Let's see. Let's say a quick hello to everybody in YouTube. And in the meantime, we had a significant event today in the sense that we had a death in England, the Queen,
Sad.
and so now apparently I guess it's now King Charles from Prince.
I mean,
Hey, yeah, wow.
yeah, it's kind of a crazy change, right?
Well, I mean, time is going on, right? Time is moving on, right? We're moving day by day. I can't believe it's already September. I can't believe it. We've already had, this is episode 15 or 16 of So2. I can't believe we've had 4 months that we've been doing.
Oh,
Yeah, right?
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, so thanks everyone
Joining
for
us,
coming.
watching.
And but let's get into some of the charts and let's talk about what's going on. I guess should we go over like the trades from this morning and why and talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, and I was going to say if you maybe wanted to pull up some of the earnings, there's some stuff that
Yeah,
might
okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. So if you're watching I do this daily market edge video each morning, and in that video, I said my intention is to go long at the open, ideally off of a 394 support. And sure enough, we couldn't even get to 394. We're going long. I mean, just nailed these scoops. Nailed it here, nailed it on Tesla as well. Same thing. Plan on Tesla was 280 to 281. If it comes to there, that was previous resistance. I'm looking for that resistance now turn into support. But this isn't, this is stuff that you learn over time that you're doing this, and then it's how you execute against it, right? And that's where risk management comes in. Hey, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to do this. Now I have the risk management. Okay, I size appropriately. Now I get in, and now I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Where should it go? Okay, so we're looking for that rally. A push locks them in. It went to the next level up very fast. Now I'm looking to load up on the pullback into VWAP. I'm expecting this. Now we reload on the VWAP test, and now we're riding it to the levels above, right here, and right here, right? It didn't go up to here. I didn't get there, but it got close enough. Now we were in the 39.80 calls, right? So if it gets to 401, the price of that's going to be $30. So even though we weren't at the 401 level, the price was there as if we were. So in my mind, that's good enough. And, pretty much, basically almost top ticket right here between, I think, 30 and 33 right here. And I saw it, and it was just a no-brainer, right? Because at 400 to 401, I think there's going to be a little bit of fight. I didn't think it's just going to run through there. It's probably going to come back, and it may need to do a VWAP test before going up there. So we're taking profits, but again, process. Took profit at this level here, taking profits at this level here. Good enough. Then watching the action. And then this is where, hey, we were talking in the room and saying, hey, this is not a bad spot to go short. So I started at October 31 puts again. And got into those. And then I was like watching this and I'm like, you know what? If we drop, these are going to go, and if we drop off 400 and we get back to VWAP here at 398, the 400 puts are going to be at least $20. And so they were right around $9 or $10 right here. And no, I'm sorry, when it popped here, it was like $8. And then it came down here to $10. And I was like, you know what, if it goes back to $8, I'll jump in. And I got lucky. It literally ticked, filled me at $8. and reversed and slammed within a minute or two, right? Like it literally just like, I'm like, thank you. And then, you know, it got further than I was expecting because I was shooting for this. And so I just went ahead, like, I'm good enough up here. If it gets to this level, I wasn't expecting it to come down here. So I took the gains. I mean, look at this, 3 candles. This has all happened in 7 minutes, right? $10 to $27 in 7 minutes, or $8 to, you know, whatever. I was like, I gotta take profit. I don't want
Good enough.
yeah, I was, thank you. I was like, thank you. You know, it came in much faster than I expected. And then I'm like, okay, what happens here? So then as this was going on, we were in the middle of the class for the THT class, where we're reviewing the price action and how to trade stuff. And, you know, in class, this is where we went long. And, you know, I wasn't able to plan this effectively in the sense of watching Hawking and bottom ticking it. You know, we were talking. But after I saw this, I was like, you know what? This is a no-brainer. It's a great risk reward. I got to go long here. And sure enough, these went actually to 10. I was done here, but $8 or something. But planning process, using the levels, and you can let amazing things happen. And in this dip here, actually, we were planning the 400 calls to get them for $1. They dropped to 30 cents before they went to $5 at the close. So that was a 10 bagger. I was like actually kind of annoyed I missed a 10 bagger. I always like frustrated, but that's the end of day thing. I'm like, no, I'm not taking any more trades. I had to stop.
Correct. Yeah.
And
at some point you got to call it a day.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's
good enough.
Good enough. It was a great day. So let's see. We had some after hours earnings, so let's go over those.
DocuSign, it looked
DocuSign,
like.
Docu.
Yeah.
And then we also had another one that was like ripping pretty hard. I can't remember what it was.
The Zscaler?
Zscaler. Yeah, ZS. So Docu, what a rip, right? Let's take a look at the daily. So, you know, with these kind of rips that are starting to happen, I think we're kind of near a bottom thing, because I'm starting to see a little bit of earnings just starting these monster rallies. So I think we're at what, 68 probably? Yeah, 68, which is all the way up into this range right here. I have to go and see what the earnings were and the results to see if we have any follow through or carry on back over 80 or not. But my thought is, let's take a quick look, just a quick and dirty. Right, if we were to just draw things here. Okay, so we kind of we're over that. What does that put us? And then if you take this one right here and we go with this right here, just giving it a little bit of that level right there, that puts us today at 69. So that's the resistance of this downtrend channel right now from these previous 2 peaks. And that's where we're at. So my thought on this is if 69 can turn into support at some point tomorrow, and we can start clearing maybe 72 or so, 72, 73, maybe we get a push back up to test this 78 area. And if 78 clears, we could get a quick rip up into this 89 area. So there's potential, being a Friday tomorrow, with the right entry, that if there's some follow through volume to the upside of a 10x gain, maybe a lot more, depending on how much it wants to move.
This will be on my watch list tomorrow.
Yeah, so this will definitely be on the watch list tomorrow. Now it could also do something similar where it could pop and give it back, right, and have some profit taking. Because this is a big, you know, it's a decent sized move from 57. Nice. Yeah, 58, right? And so it's almost 20%. And so let's see what they want to do, because what I've also noticing is on some of these names, they're getting profit taking on these gaps, at least initially, before they follow through. So there's some profit taking, reestablishing support, and then they end up back near the open of whatever it was. So like we had that happen with Coop as well.
Yeah.
Right. If you take
That
a
one
look,
might be a good one to actually go over. 'Cause
yeah. So let's take a look at that. So you can see Coop here. Here, so we looked for this. We popped, came back down, held, right? So we pushed, came back to support at the open, and then rallied back. Dipped again. Here's the support level on 64, and then it ripped. Now, it looks like it's on track for sitting 71 and 76. I have a hard time, like my comments were, I'm not going long on this because I have a hard time believing this is going to get up into the 70s. That's just my personal preference, right? So I didn't take the trade because there was other ones that I was interested in. And Spy's got this crazy range that is paying huge. But this is the kind of behavior we're seeing after earnings right now. So we got to see, knowing that this has happened. I think it did the same thing with Lulu, right? I think Lulu did something similar after its earnings. It had the gap up, came down, found the support, and now it's running again, right? So is it going to be, the question is tomorrow gap and go, or is it going to do the gap, find support, and then continue higher? And that's where I think if it does find and establish support, it may not be a bad swing long. Okay. Because at least the last 2 or 3, it's been doing that. But now the more we extend toward that 400, the 410 or 406, if that comes, the more risky it's going to be looking at, because the market may have a turn back to the downside. Agreed. So we got to consider that. Okay, what was the Z-scaler? Let's take a look. Another beast. And they were buying AMD, and the chips were getting bought. Nvidia hasn't been able to get over 140 yet, so I'm not really, until it gets over 142. I'm more kind of like looking for that as a potential short spot.
You got Lulu up right now, from what I can see.
It'll probably be a second.
Okay.
It's maybe YouTube has that 10-second delay for the
it does.
For all the cursing that we do,
Yeah.
It's for the bleepers. So I think we're at 170 right here. So we're basically over this resistance area here. So if market likes the information tomorrow and 170 can turn into support, then this could be the beginning of a turnaround. Right. Otherwise, it seems like a push here, 180 fail. If market's going to continue to be weak, it's great place to take profit and let it come back. Right.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, this is kind of weird. I don't know what happened here. This was the earnings, and it seems like it rallied. It gapped down on earnings, ripped, and the next day gapped down again, like huge. So I don't know. Seems kind of a weird situation there. Here, the Z-scaler last time gapped up, pushed a bit, and then sold off for a couple days before it started consolidating. So let's see. I mean, this is going to be a pretty interesting level here. This 170 to 172 area.
Yeah.
But definitely, there's going to be some great opportunities tomorrow. Let's see if we can get another 10-bagger.
Plenty of opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it's now, guys, for the psychology. See, we always talk so much about the psychology. The challenge I personally run into is when you get used to those kinds of gains. When you get, you can become unhappy with small gains, and then that can lead to over trading because you're just like, whatever, didn't do enough.
Very easily.
Yeah. So just stay. So just be aware of that. You just think of those as the time that we're in. Just always execute well. Plan, execute. Plan, execute. Don't worry about whatever you got. Just got what you got.
I sometimes forget to be proud of just meeting my plan. goals on the day of 3 to 5% account gains.
Yeah, like it's
You know? I'm being serious. That's sometimes like I have to remind myself, good job, just like rinse, repeat. That's it.
it's
Even
important. It is
sometimes
so
10% is
important
not
for that
exciting.
yeah, to accept. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just not exciting enough, but because we know what comes. So it just, I have to tell myself that over and over because, it's, hey, go, and you talk about this, right? Go do something to celebrate you doing that because you are, once again, executing your process. It's not about the actual percent gain or dollar gain. It's executing the process, rinse, repeat, whether it's just having a nice dinner, something like that. Doing something for someone else, right? Do something for
Absolutely.
your
Um,
local
I
police or
mean,
fire department. I like to do that. So just guys,
I mean that was one of the ways we met in person. Actually, was
yeah,
one of those situations. I believe. Like, I think I had a pretty nice win this particular day, and I took my mom and David had flown into California, and was out shopping somewhere with his wife, and I'm like, oh, I'll come meet you, and because I had to go, like, and then the thing was, one of the things that actually works pretty well for me is go spend 10% of whatever I meant for the day.
you ended up with I think it was what, a Ferragamo suit or belt,
Yeah, I got like
red bottom
red
shoes,
bottom shoes and Ferragamo shoes and
glasses,
suits
this, that,
and
and the other.
sunglasses, and
It was
it
fun.
was kind of all kinds of nonsense that I would never go spend money on normally.
I
But
think
it
I
stopped
think my
me from
wife
over
got,
trading.
yeah, oh yeah, I bought her the YSL purse that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, it was a fun day. It was a fun day,
he
you know?
liked it.
And so think about that. So go back and evaluate, right? Sometimes you need to do something dumb or something that doesn't make sense to actually help yourself. So if you have a history that you're up 30% or 50% or 10%, whatever it is, let's just say that you have a history of making $3 grand a day. You just do, but by morning, but by end of day, you are down 2 grand or 10 grand or 5 grand or whatever it is. Then if you have that history, then go say, hey, I'm gonna go spend $300 and I have to go spend it somehow today. I turn off the computer. I have to go spend $300 somehow, give it to someone, make something fun out of it, right? And see what making that change, see what your account balance looks like 30 days later. Is it higher or lower than when you weren't spending that money? Challenge you for that. For me, I ended up higher, right? Because it prevented me from over trading, from doing the bad things that wreck my account, right? Or take money away from my account. It takes away the good work I've done in the morning. Yep. So I'm going to leave you with that tip. I think we're running past our time today. And I guess I'm off to go see art.
Perfect. Have a great one. We'll see everyone in the room tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, everyone who's here, and we'll see you next week.
See everyone next time. Okay? Get plenty of rest. Take some time to plan your trades for tomorrow. Think about what you want to do, including everything down to how much you're going to size, and then execute on. Trust yourself. Believe in yourself, guys. You guys are all awesome. Okay, take care.
Have a great one.